Let's do it together. So we have to use simple random sampling to define what individuals must be surveyed. We use Excel for this purpose. To define individuals for our survey, we should click Data. And in Data tab, please find Data Analysis.
Excuse me, what if we don't have data analysis there?
Yeah, let me explain. Guys, if you don't have Data Analysis toolbar, go to File, click Options, and Ends. Are you following me? Add Ends,
Yeah.
and click here, look, Go. And in this small window, please set all options and click OK.
No, thank you.
Okay, good. So let's continue. Click Data Analysis. And in Data Analysis, please find Random Number Generation. Again, in Data Analysis, find Random Number Generation and click OK. Well, now let's start with Bernoulli distribution. It's simple. And let's fill this window. First, number of variables. You want to generate just one variable, set 1. Number of random numbers. Now, let's set 180. Well, our population consists of 180 persons. Let's set this number. P-value. P-value, it is a percentage of persons we want to survey. Well, so p-value takes values from 0 to 1. Well, no, if you set 0.3, it means that you want to survey 30% of your population. By the way, if you want to survey 30% of your population, you create a really so you create a large sample. Usually we survey 10% or even 5%. Well, no, let's set 0.3. Well, next, random set. Random set, here we enter some random numbers. You can, by the way, keep this field empty, but if you don't want to type any numbers here, your output must be different from my output. But if you type here, for example, 1, my output and your output must be the same. Well, and don't forget to define output range. Please do all of this and click OK. Type in the chat plus if you are ready. Well, note if we find some of these column, so we see that in total we have to survey 50, so yeah, 51%. Well, any questions? Okay, good. Another way. So first way, we can use random number generator. Another way, we can use a formula in Excel. For example, it could be run between 0 and 1. Well, in Excel, if we use such a formula, run between 0 and 1, Excel generates a set of random numbers, and these numbers can be either 0 or 1. But I hope that you remember from your research seminar course that all of these numbers are random, and now my data set and your data set should be different. Well, if you want to fix this output, copy and paste it as values. Please use run between 0 and 1 to create another random sampling. Type plus if you are ready.
Excuse me, I believe not all the people have this button of data analysis. Could you please explain how?
Yeah, for sure. If you don't have data analysis toolbar, go to File. And do you use Russian or English Excel?
Well, we did have a course on Excel, so I believe all the people have English versions.
Okay, fine. Click Options. In Options, click Add-ins. Ready?
Yes.
And click Go. And here, look, you have Analysis Toolbar. Enable it and OK.
Thank you.
Other students, do you have data analysis? Okay, good.
Actually not.
Not?
In the data
Could you please
in the data section,
procedure
there was just outline and nothing after the outline. So no data analysis and analysis sphere in data section.
First, do you use Microsoft Excel?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, no, because other similar programs, there are also similar programs. And did you follow options and all of this stuff?
It wasn't customized ribbon, if I'm not mistaken, or there. Can you just show it one more time? I'm really sorry.
Yeah, for sure. Go to File. And look, last option here, Options, the last button.
Right. Okay.
Good. And find here Add-ins.
Did that.
And find here Go. This one.
Okay, and mark everything what is in here. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. And should I show you how to use data analysis random generator again?
No.
Yeah, please.
That point. Oh, okay, yes.
Okay, good. Well, there are two ways how can we create simple random sample. Well, example, you want to survey HEC students about something, for example, about time spent in Facebook mobile application. Well, you don't have to survey all students. You have to rely on a sample of students, small proportion of our students. And you can randomly choose students from your group, from other group of students, well, to conduct your research. And if you do this, you will rely on simple random sampling. Maybe you know them, maybe you don't know your respondents. Doesn't matter because you randomly choose persons. Hence, you rely on simple random sampling. And a piece of magic, if you rely on simple random sampling, your sample is going to be representative. But if you know that there are 50% of females and 50% of males in your group, and if you rely on simple random sampling, your proportion should be more or less the same. Well, always. Well, but for sure, there are other ways of sampling, and they are better, but a little bit more complicated. Stratified random sampling. Well, you know that in our data set, we have two variables more, gender and region. Well, gender could be female, could be male, and there are three regions, A, B, C. Well, how can stratified random sampling works? In this case, we should survey a small proportion of females and a small proportion of males. For example, in my population, there are 50 males and 100 females. Well, to create a sample, I have to survey randomly survey 10% of males and 10% of females. Hence, I have to choose randomly 5 males and 10 females. This is the idea of stratified random sampling. How can we do this in Excel? Well, first, let's do it together. Set filters in Excel, set filters and sort gender column from A to Z. You have to sort your gender column from A to Z. Sort it. Next, look, let's select all females in our sample. Look, how many females have we in our population? Sorry, not sample. In total, we have 89 females. Remember this number, 89 females. Well, next. Click on any empty cell, for example, G2 in my case. And next, we have to randomly choose, say, 30% of females. In total, in my population, I have 89 females. My job is to choose randomly 30% of these females. To do this, I have to rely on random data generator again. I have to click on data analysis toolpack. I have to click random number generation. Next, but instead of 180, let's set 89. And let's change our output range because our output range must be like this. Like this. Yeah, 80. And okay. Well, and look, Excel automatically identifies what females must be surveyed. Is this clear, guys? Should I repeat it? Type yes or no. Or yeah, okay. Dimitri, I will ask you a question. Well, so, but not now. A little bit later. Okay. Look, first, you have to So in this example, you have to, again, you have to identify how many females we have in the population. We have 89 females. We have to generate 89 numbers in Excel. All numbers can be 0 or 1. Well, again, we have to rely on random number generation tool. To do this, click on any empty cell, click data analysis, use random number generation, click OK. And look, what you have to change here, you have to change this option, number of random numbers. Set here your number 89. Why 89? Because in our population we have 89 persons. Well, again, why we have to set 89? Because in our population we have 89 persons. Hence, we should generate 89 random numbers. Our numbers are either 1 or 0. 1 means we want to survey, 0, 1 means that we don't want to survey. Well, so in total we have to generate 89 persons. 0.3 means that we want to survey 30% of our females. And please don't forget to set a new output range. And your output range must be the same as, so it should cover all females in your population. And click OK. So if you are ready with this task, please do the same with males. Well, now we can do the same for males. So in total we have 80 males in our sample. That is, it means that we should generate 80 random numbers. To generate 80, we have 90 males. So we have to generate 90 random numbers, and to do this we should use random number generation tool. Click OK. And now set here 90 and change the output. So and you have to select the range you want to use. Well, and click OK. That's it. Again, let me stress that in stratified random sampling, you have to rely on stratas. What strata is? Strata is a group of population. For example, in our population, we have females and males. That is, we have two strata, females and males. And in this case, if we rely on stratified random sampling, we should randomly choose some subsample within one strata, and next we have to make subsample of persons within second strata. Well, what is the key difference between simple random sampling and stratified random sampling? In simple random sampling, you randomly choose persons and you don't care about groups, subgroups within your population, just you, and so on. In stratified random sampling, you care about groups, well, in your population. You should care about maybe gender, you can care about place of living or all the characteristics. It could be age, it could be education. Well, in this simple example, we have two strata, male and female. In practice, we have more strata, where we have more these subgroups. For example, a subgroup could be females whose age is between 20 years and 30 years, living in a city, well, with a university degree. Well, could be, but anyway, within each strata, we use simple random sampling to define individuals must be surveyed. Guys, type clear or unclear if you understand this. Please don't hesitate me if something is unclear.
Evgeny Alexandrovich.
Yeah.
I would like to ask you, could you please explain me once more again what does if we go to the data analysis and choose the random number generation, what does the p-value mean? So in what way does the points 0 or 1 are chosen by the program?
No, let me make one important point. So p-value itself, so technically, the right definition of p-value is a little bit complicated, and it is rooted from the probability theory. Well, and I would like to avoid this because we have to learn more topics from statistics to understand better what p-value is. But robustly speaking, in this case, in Excel, it is a percentage of population you want to survey. Владимир?
Я пытаюсь понять просто.
No, it's a proportion. For example, we want to survey 30% of our persons. Set 0.3. I want to survey 5% of my population. I have to set p-value 0.05.
Yeah.
It works like this. Or, well, no, by the way, if you watch YouTube videos or read materials in the internet, there are many ways to do the same. Well, you can use normal distribution, you can use, I would like to share with you such a video to learn that different authors reach the same purpose using different ways. It doesn't mean that our way is perfect, it doesn't mean that our way is bad. It's just one way among other ways. Well, which can work. Next.
Okay,
well,
thank you.
Yeah, systematic random sampling. Probably it is the simplest way of sampling. Well, look how it works. Let's do it step by step. Again, using sampling, we have to define what persons must be surveyed. Imagine that you have your population. Well, and you want to apply a systematic random sampling. How can we use it? First, let's generate random numbers using rand function. Generate it like this. Generate random numbers and fix your range. Copy it and paste this range as values. Fix this range. Again, you have to generate random numbers, copy and paste them as values to fix this range. Check whether your numbers are numbers. They must be formulae. Next, sort this column from largest to smallest. Sort this column from largest to smallest. Again.
Sorry, could
Yeah.
you explain again how did you do this random numbering?
Yeah, for sure. Look, first, use rand formula in Excel like this.
Mm-hmm.
Next, you have to repeat this formula for all the cells in this column. Do this. Ready?
Yes.
Next, select the whole column and copy it. Select the whole column or all numbers in your range and copy these numbers. Next. This point is important. Remember, now paste and choose values option. 1, 2, 3. Paste as values. Ready?
Yeah, thank you.
And next, sort from largest to smallest. Well, sort from largest to smallest. Next, what does systematic random sampling mean? It means that we want to survey, for example, every second person. I want to survey this, I want to survey this, I want to survey this, and so on. Or you can write a formula like this. I want to survey every second student or every second person. And if I rely on such a sampling, this sampling is going to be it should produce a representative sample of data. Why? Because we use random numbers. We assign random numbers to each individual. Doesn't matter. Not imagine I want to survey all second-year students in management, international business and management program. Well, I have to assign random number to each student. Doesn't matter, well, whether you have 10, 5, 50, or 0, doesn't matter. These numbers are random. But if I sort these numbers, when I sort these numbers from largest to smallest or from smallest to largest, doesn't matter. Well, in fact, I randomly sort my individuals in the sample. Well, this individual is the first, so this individual randomly choosing to be first. This individual is randomly choosing to be the second, because I use random numbers to order my persons in the population. Well, and if I choose every second person, or I can rely on every, for example, I can rely on every one, 2, 3, every fourth person in my sample. Well, anyway, this sample of these persons is going to be representative sample. Again, simple random sampling. Simple random sampling means that you randomly choose persons. You don't care about groups, subgroups, just randomly choose persons. That's it. Stratified random sample. Choose groups for example, male or female, or those whose age is between 20 and 30 years, between 30 and 40 years, and so on, and randomly survey a small proportion within each group or within each strata. Random, systematic random sampling. Choose every second, or choose every tenth, or choose every 5% randomly and survey them. You will produce a representative sample. Well, and cluster random sampling. Cluster random sampling is similar to stratified random sample, but there is a difference. What imagine that we have many groups. What here we have region ABC. To rely on cluster random sampling, you have to choose a small proportion. You have to choose some groups among all possible groups. So here I have 3 regions, ABC. I want to survey A region and C region, just because so there is no any reason, there is no any rule why I want to survey region A and C. I made this decision relying on some chances. Well, and next you have to so if you want to use Excel, you should sort from for example, A, B to C. Well, and next, once you sort your data in such a way, you should apply simple random sampling within each cluster. For instance, I want to survey cluster A or region A, this one. To do this, I have to use simple random sampling, or it could be even stratified random sampling. Well, to survey the Can you hear me well? There are some technical.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, okay. Questions.
Excuse me, I have one question about systematic random sampling. If I filter random from largest to smallest, or from smallest to largest, I think that it kind of refresh, and that is why I have new numbers, and there is no filter. New numbers in the column every time I click enter. I have here new numbers, so I can't sort it or filter it.
You have to select this range as a whole, copy it, and
okay,
paste as values.
Okay, understood. Thank you.
Well, so guys, unfortunately our time is limited. No, maybe it's not unfortunately. Well, what we have learned today, we have learned 4 basic sampling methods, and we learned what statistics is. At home, you have to practice these tools with Excel, and you have to practice what population and sample is. You have to learn what is the difference. Well, And let me tell you some maybe stories from my professional experience. For sure, these sampling methods can, so these tools can work if you work in a business and you have population data. For example, you know all your clients, you have a list of clients, you want to conduct a survey among your clients, but you cannot survey all of your clients. Well, so in this case, you can use these tools to make a sample. Oh, yeah, I will repeat about cluster sampling. Yeah, so first, remember that you can use these Excel tools in Excel when you have population data set. It could be list of clients, could be list of items in your factory and so on. But if you want to survey population in the city, for example, you want to learn, you want to find out the opinion about something, you cannot rely on these methods because you don't know the population, you don't know who you don't know persons in your population well. And in this case, we rely on convenience sampling or more complicated methods which are beyond of our cost. But if you want to get 9 and 10, well, this is a good reason, or this is a good way to learn what sampling methods we use when we want to know opinions when we work with population, when we don't have a population data. Well, and the last point about cluster random sampling. The idea is very simple. Imagine clusters are groups. What imagine we have 10 groups of students. Well, and we need to conduct a survey. What we have to do? We have to randomly choose, say, 5 groups. Randomly. Well, and within each group, we have to choose randomly, say, 5 students. We assume that our groups have more or less the same size, hence we randomly choose 5 students. And in this case, we have we work with cluster random sampling. Another example, imagine that you live in a district and there are 10 schools in these districts. You want to survey high school students, well, and you don't have time and sources to survey all schools in your districts. To create a sample, you have to choose randomly, for example, 4 schools out of 10, and within 4 schools, you have to randomly choose, say, 50 students for your sample. This is the idea of cluster random sampling. Well, that's it. Questions?
Between cluster random sampling and stratified random sampling if we have like clusters in both methods?
Yeah, look, in stratified sampling, you don't randomly choose groups, right? You have 10 schools, you have to survey 10% of students in each school. In cluster random sampling, you have to randomly choose schools and randomly choose students within each school.
Once again, in stratified method, we have 2 variants. Or sorry, could you repeat, please?
In stratified?
Yeah.
No. We have stratas. We have groups. What? No. How many groups you have?
6.
6. Look, what if we rely on stratified sampling, we survey, for example, 5 students randomly chosen from each of 6 group. But if you rely on cluster random sampling, you randomly choose groups. For example, you don't have to survey all 6 groups. It's sufficient to survey, say, 4 groups out of 6.
I got it. Okay, thank you.
About laptops, no, it's not necessary as you wish, because as far as I know, all seminars must be in computer classes. Well, so if you want, So I don't think that it's a problem if you bring your laptop, but it's not necessary.
Can I ask a question again about stratified and cluster?
Yeah.
So in stratified, we choose randomly people from all groups, right? But in cluster, we choose groups where we're going to take people from.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
And I've got one more technical question. Some people, as far as I know, not only me, have that problem that when we use random number generator, the Excel doesn't allow us to choose the range for some reason. Don't you know how can we fix it?
How to fix the range?
No, how to fix that problem with Excel that it doesn't allow us to choose the range while we are using the random number generator, like at the last at the last part of this procedure.
Oh, to be honest, I don't understand the problem. Well, you mean that you use random number generation and Excel cannot generate a set of different numbers.
Yeah, it can't because there is no range at the last part of that window that appears when we are doing random number generator. There is a range to choose. Like I'm choosing
Output range. Did you choose output range?
We cannot choose output range. Yeah. And it doesn't allow us to do it anyhow, like with new worksheet and so on.
Could you please share your screen? That's strange a little.
Someone answered in chat.
Because well, thank you that you try to help one another. Well,
Okay,
unfortunately,
I guess we can like decide it by ourselves. Thank you.
yeah, because I couldn't understand. Yeah, cluster random sampling. Uliana, I will send you a video, maybe mine, maybe another video, how to use it. It's very, very simple. So as well. Yeah, and guys, our textbook is available through our library sources, library. Well, so I think that's it. Thank you for your attendance. See you next week. And I think that next week should be more productive because we had to spend some time for organizational issues.
Thank you.
Thank you. Goodbye.
So thank you.
Thank you. Bye.